Hi there, Rona Malazari with ElderGadget.com. We are here with our team wrapping up the CES show coverage. And I think what we'll do is just go around, mention your name, and we're going to discuss the two things that we noticed that particularly caught our eye. First is what we would use and find valuable for our own lifestyle. And second, what our viewers would find most interesting. So why don't we start with you, Eli Gindi, founder and CEO of ElderGadget.
Well, I mean, the coolest thing that I saw, the thing that it amazed me. I call it world peace because it was a television that, high definition television made by Samsung, where you could, two people in the same room wearing active glasses with headphones in the glasses could watch the exact same screen and see two entirely different shows on it. And it worked with, a technology like 3D, except instead of having one image and two images, it had one station and two stations. And it was absolutely amazing. And the applications in households between, teenagers and kids that want to watch two different programs, or spouses that want to watch different programs, it was just an amazing use, kind of an offshoot of what 3D does.
Hence the name Peace, I guess.
That's why I call it World Peace, because I wish I had one of those when my kids were growing up.
It's seriously the most amazing repurposing, the smartest thing that they could have done besides 3D with active shutter glasses.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you just push a button and you're watching the other show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And when you look at the screen without the glasses, it actually has two pictures on it they're just not like offset, but two separate pictures that you can actually see on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, was that by?
Samsung.
Samsung.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy it yet, but they said
No, not
third
yet.
quarter, I think, 2012.
And what would you say would be the product you saw that our audience would find useful?
I don't know that it was a single product. It was just that, things talking to other things. It was being able to sort of throw content across the country, watch it at the same time. I guess it was embodied by something we saw at Panasonic, which was an integration of Skype into the television screen while you're actually watching a piece of content. So they did it through Facebook and they also had it through Skype, but you could actually sit and have a video chat with somebody while watching a football game.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it didn't yet work with multiple screens, but it might, because it puts the Skype image in a screen. But it was just, you can call your friend up, say, want to watch the football game, or would you like to? I could call my mom and say, would you like to watch this TV show? We could watch it together, talk to each other while it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, have a nice Skype chat, and I could be in England and she could be in California. So it was really taking this kind of connectivity to the next level, and social networking connectivity to the next level.
Social TV was what they were calling
Social-
it. Where you can Skype,
social
you
TV.
can tweet,
Oh.
Facebook while you're watching a movie or
Yes,
a TV show.
but with the resolutions on the screen, it was But again, it was a repurposing of
Yep.
other stuff into one, which is one of the things I found was that seems to be what's happening. Is now the technology's great, but it's great. So what do you do with it? And now they're actually finding things to do with it to connect people, and that's the thing that I would say.
Rachel, tell us about your experience.
Well, I loved the Samsung Galaxy Note, which is in between a smartphone and tablet. So it's a bit bigger than a normal smartphone, but small enough to fit in your back pocket, kind of hold in one hand. It has a great little stylus that is really incredibly accurate. You can draw, you can take handwritten notes. It just really, I think, I'm not so into the smartphones that focus on kind of watching movies all the time. I'm not going to watch a movie on my smartphone, but I would totally write notes and use it as a tablet more. So I'm very excited for that to come out. And another thing I really liked at Samsung was they had a really wonderful audio player that was vacuum tube. So it's kind of this old technology, but you really, you don't need to be someone like an audiophile or someone who really knows a lot about music to appreciate kind of the warmth and depth that this player gives you and I think that that really kind of adds in this day and age of kind of crappy speakers.
And clearly we're not working for Samsung, nor are we sponsored by Samsung, so there seems to be a common theme here that Samsung seems to be I think I would say the winner of the CES show. There's been so much talk about Samsung. It seems like that happens to be something that really caught everyone's attention. Products that are actually useful and
they had some of the
appropriate.
best integration as well.
Yeah.
Like all of their products talking to each other and being able to move content around and that kind of thing.
Very nice.
And if you watch, there's a video that we took of Scott Cohen from Samsung, where he was talking about their products. Did a brilliant job talking about their products, but also talking towards sort of the approach that we have toward, ElderGadget has towards technology. He did such a brilliant job of integrating what we told him about ourselves with showing how all the different things they had fit in. I really recommend watching that when we put it up.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nellie, another Samsung winner?
Yeah, it's really funny too because Eli took my original coolest gadget, which was the glasses, but I actually had a backup, and it's also Samsung.
Wow.
Oh wait, I have another note. Go ahead.
It was the gesture and voice controls.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Again,
I
I mean,
know.
really, that could be coolest and very senior friendly for our audience. But you didn't need the remote control; you could simply voice your command. And on top of that, you could also use your hands to switch channels and pull up the guides, choose your program. Very, very neat. We've seen that I think last year at CES as well, but I think it was done a lot better this year.
Did you see the one though? There was one that used that kind of recognition, but again, it used it for something. It actually would put all these different apps and all these different things that you like. It was this kind of like a voice search that you could do. And it would pull up throughout all of whether you had Facebook or whether you had YouTube or whether on your own computer, it would actually pull it up. It was the same thing I think that, I'm trying to remember who else it was that had that. But
I think LG TV
was
had
it LG
something
TV?
really similar.
Yeah, there was somebody else that had something really similar. No, I remember it was Microsoft. Windows 8 has something very similar to that, where it does that kind of search, but it had voice capability, and it sort of, remember we were talking about the Amazon Kindle or the Fire? I thought it was really cool because you put your ID in and it knows you. Well, these things are going to really start to know you and do it the way you want it and the content that you want, Yeah, it's really good, but that's a good one. That's it, yeah.
And most senior friendly. I would say, yesterday I mentioned that arcade game where Microsoft took an app and they made it into a classic arcade game. And today we visited a booth called Crosley, and they are doing the same thing with jukeboxes and music systems. So you can still buy the classic jukebox or the classic record player, and you can insert your smartphone, your iPhone, your iPad, and it's all integrated. You can pull up iTunes, and it's still that classic, nostalgic, as everyone loves nostalgic. I'm an 80s kid. I can't get enough of it. I have to assume our readers are the same. You can bring a little piece of the 50s or 60s back home.
Yeah.
They had that
Version.
cool car in their booth, didn't they?
They did have a car. Yeah, I didn't get that far, but they did have a car there.
Very nice.
Tony, you're not allowed to pick the white car that was out in the parking lot.
I know. What was that, the Lamborghini?
Yeah, it's a Lamborghini Aventador.
Because-
I was trolling over it.
It's already been
No,
purchased.
just
It's
kidding.
in my garage as we speak, so I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
It's off the market.
I didn't get anything free from the show like that. No, the coolest thing to me was it's a prototype, because the CES is about showing off the newest and latest and greatest, and sometimes they have stuff that's really new and not out even. I mean, it's just a total prototype. It's a window, and you're like, why is a window such an exciting thing? It's an LCD TV window, so it's literally whatever your window is. That's a TV. You can use it to set a window shade. You can, you can control the color of the window shade. You can make it completely black. It's a touch screen that you can control. It works daytime, nighttime, and it can show your TV on it. It's just
Minority
it was
Report.
really cool. It was
Sure.
very Minority Report, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
Nice. And what do you think would be user friendly for our demographic?
That's a good question. There was a lot of stuff. Just the overall, like, everything sort of coming together and interfaces getting a lot more similar, so you don't have to learn so many different things.
Yeah.
that was sort of.
Remember the game fitness stuff we saw?
Yes. I didn't see a full demo of that stuff though.
Oh, it was great. Very, very, you can get on a treadmill and you can see, or you can sort of upload all your information to it, and it gives you, sort of diet, exercise. You can see, articles on it. You can get, exercise videos and stuff like that. Was really very cool. Yeah,
Very
just
neat.
but one thing that we went. Remember, well, you didn't say yours yet.
I didn't, but you can finish.
No, go ahead. At the end, this is
Okay.
for the end. This is
Okay.
for the end. Yeah.
Personally, for me, there was something called Simple Solutions, and it was a device that you actually connect to your TV and allows you to scan your body and then shop for clothes online based on your measurements. And and actually you just sort of stand in front of the machine and it scans your entire body. So when you actually look at the garment on this virtual body on your screen, it shows you what parts of the body were tighter, where the clothes fit too tight or maybe too loose, by a color coding. It was red or green to indicate if,
Does this avatar make my butt look big?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was neat, and it's sort of maybe a trend that online retailers are trying to go towards, because they mentioned 10% of shopping is actually done online for garments, for clothing. So they're trying to boost that up by having people feel more comfortable that the garment actually will fit them. So I thought that was unique. For the senior market, I know there's all this high-tech stuff, but believe it or not, I found this one of the coolest products for our demographic. And what it is, basically just hangs your iPhone. And what is even better than just hanging your iPhone, here are your headphones. So easy access. It doesn't get tangled up in your purse or in your bag. Just pop them right in when you want to use them. And even more useful than that, you can get an app on your phone. This is by iDangle. iDangle has an app on your phone that will actually raise the volume on your headphones. So in essence, it acts as a hearing aid. So it amplifies the sound, and you can just find dual purpose with it. So we thought that was a unique product out there.
Okay, so I just want to talk for a minute about
Sure.
some of the words that I heard around the show.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we were, one day we were talking about, it's like an information, we now have an information department store. We have all these different sort of gadgets that are coming in a single device, or you have game fitness, or you have social TV, right? You have all these different things. But Tony and I, the last stop we made at the show was at a booth by a company called DLNA. Now, DLNA is the technology that's used in non-Apple stuff, where it allows your smartphone to interact with your TV and interact with your tablet or your smart home or whatever it might be. It's like this standard language that they use for things to interact. It's how you flick your picture from one thing to the other, or how you play your content from Los Angeles to a TV in New York. So Tony and I, as we were leaving, we realized what was happening. And as we had left the DLNA store, I turned to the people there and I said, I just realized you people are evil. And they said, what do you mean? I said, that technology's evil. You're teaching machines how to talk. And then Tony decided to name this show The Rise of the Machines.
It's true. It's an accurate name.
They talk to each other.
They
yeah.
talk to each other. They're actually, things are talking to each other, and they're talking about you, and they're learning about you, and they're learning what you like and what you don't
They know our
like.
measurements.
Yeah,
Measurements.
Measurements.
And when we were sitting
They'll
down
use
on
it
a
against
step,
us.
when Tony and Rachel and I were sitting down on a step, when we had a 15-minute break, right? There was one of those prototype machines that will go up in the air and shoot lasers at us too. Remember
Wow.
that? Remember the hovercraft
Didn't
that
have
was?
lasers in it quite yet.
No, but
it was
it
for
had
cameras.
You could
but
put cameras and smartphones. I mean,
the applications.
The applications can be quite daunting.
but then we were saying that since we're ElderGadget, it's not going to be our problem. It's
Right.
gonna be
The
something
next
else.
generation's problem. So rest assured, you'll be fine. You'll make it.
This is
You'll
why
make it out
2012 is the end of the world.
Right, this is true. Well, this has been quite a fun segment. This show has been just great. We've been able to see so much, and luckily we made it out alive. The machines haven't taken over our lives just yet, but who knows, next year they just might. So we'll see you here next year, and thanks to everybody for their participation. It's been great.
Thanks.